How is everyone doing today? Um, Welcome to another Conductor Sunday live stream. I decided to I decided to change it up a little bit. Normally I do my Conductor Thursday live streams on Thursday, but things kind of didn't work out this week, so I decided to do it of all days today. And I was looking at my analytics, and it looks like a lot of you guys actually watch my content on Sundays. So I'm going to do some more research and see if Sunday is a good time to do my live streams. But for now, we're going to get started. I want to ask everyone in the chat right now, how's everyone doing tonight? Is everyone doing okay wherever you might be? Here on the West Coast where I'm at, Mideast, Midwest, East Coast, out of the country. I know a lot of my fellow content creators, not all of them, but a few, were granted special access to Epic Universe for family and friends. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but from the title that you guys can see on the live stream tonight, we're going to be basically focusing on the West Coast parks, Universal Hollywood, Disneyland Resort. But before we get started, again, my name is ThemeParkConductor. I am your host. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Bluesky at ThemeParkConductor. You can find me also on X at ThemeConductor. You can also find me, for now, you can find me every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And just like tonight, we are talking all about the theme parks. I kind of let the live stream, the chat, kind of just do their own thing. If they want to ask questions, they want to engage. I totally welcome that. No one has a bad opinion. No one has a stupid question. So if you have a question, you want to talk about something, just post in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button for me. It always helps me out, the channel out, you guys out to provide better content. And I'm working on that. I'm supposed to be going this year and the next couple months. Supposed to be doing Fan Fest nights with a good friend of the channel that's been on the channel many, many times. Tommy Toon World, shout out to him. He's one of our moderators on this channel. Also, I'm going to be doing the Disneyland 70th anniversary the first day, and I think the third day, because the second day, which is a Saturday, I'm going to be doing Fan Fest nights with Tommy Toon World. So a lot of amazing content coming out, and then obviously my yearly HHN content will be starting to come out. So definitely look forward to that, and definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of that amazing content. It's going to be a fun and epic year. But we're going to jump right into it. We're going to go right into our first topic of tonight, which is Universal Studios Hollywood. We're going to get right into it. And like I said, I encourage my audience to ask any questions, post them in the comments, and we'll talk about it. There, like I said, there's no stupid question or no topic about the theme parks I rather talk about. So we are going to talk about that. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. My thing's being a little weird. Give me 1 second, guys, because I forgot to set this part up. My fault. Let me take care of that real quick. And I will put this over here. And all right, we are set. So let's get right into it. Let's do that right now, so you guys don't have to wait on me. Okay. So the first topic we're going to talk about, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. So Mondo great friend of the channel, Five Fires. Definitely go check out his content if you haven't already. He does actually his Speculation Sunday live streams with Danny. That will be happening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, probably right after the show. So definitely go check him out. But we're looking at right now, they actually took the scrim off this building. And what I've started to notice, what other content creators have started to notice, when they put this brick facade that you guys are looking at currently right now, they are starting to age the brick on the actual building itself to kind of make it look old, kind of like that garage warehouse type theme. So it looks freaking amazing. So as we look at it, when I was there Thursday, I saw these brackets, and it's kind of like right where this catwalk is. There's like little brackets sticking out, and it makes me believe that the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift marquee sign that is going to be, I can guarantee it's going to be lit up just like Super Nintendo World, the marquee sign outside the warp tunnel, the entrance to get in the Super Nintendo World. I kind of feel like it's going to be the same thing here, but in this section right here for the marquee sign for the attraction. And then right over here where these big giant openings are, the windows, this is where the gift shops supposedly be. So this building is going to be multi-purpose. It's going to be a gift shop. It's going to have a gift shop. It's going to have lockers. It's going to have, I believe, restrooms. It's going to have metal detectors, and you have to walk through the metal detectors because they don't want you bringing anything on the attraction itself. So it's definitely going to be very, very interesting. Also, this building also hosts a purpose because it does have the maintenance bay for the coaster, and it's supposed to have some type of employee break room, employee offices. So this building is serving a lot of purpose. And I want to give a shout out to Universal Creative for doing this, because this is a great space for multiple things. But it also helps for future, plans throughout the theme park. So it's really, really, really awesome that they did that. And I just want to pull a photo up real quick. This is from Ryan Theme Park, and what you're looking at, that 4422 building, is the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift show building. What we just looked at, that brick building. And this yellow that he has highlighted right here, this is supposedly where the gift shop's going to be. So this building is going to have multi-purpose of stuff. So this is the gift shop right here. The maintenance bay is somewhere over here, I believe, on the backside, because you can kind of see it from the overlook behind Super Silly Funland. This is the maintenance bay right here. This is the track, and probably some other areas that's not guest friendly. And then up here is going to be the extended queue. The extended queue, I think, is going to go up here, up and around, and then back in again, because it is a dual. I think it's a dual track, so it's a dual load. But it's how can I say it? I don't know if any of you in the chat or watching the live stream has ever ridden oh my god, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm trying to think of what attraction is a dual load. Is it Jaguar at Knott's? Post in the comments. I can't really remember offhand, but there's one coaster that I remember that, and there's probably many of those around the world, but I'm talking about in Southern California. I thought it was Jaguar. I could be 100% wrong on that. I think I am wrong on that, but it was a coaster on the West Coast, and it's a dual load, but they only have one train on the track. Now, this is going to be something very similar, but they are going to have two trains running on the track, but obviously far apart from each other, because this ride is actually supposed to be just as fast as Velocicoaster in Universal Orlando and Islands of Adventure, or even a little bit faster. So they can't have two trains going that close to each other. So it's going to be very interesting to figure out how they're going to do that. But it's a dual, from what I understand, it's a dual load. It's a dual load coaster. So it's definitely very interesting, very unique. And again, shout out to Five Fires. This was posted on his X yesterday. Look how massive that inversion's going to be. Look at that is freaking nuts. I thought the oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. The inversion over the fire road was crazy. I thought even the one over the escalators, this is nuts. That's a steep incline to go up and over and then back down again. That's insane. I've never seen anything like that ever. That's crazy. That's just wow. What a freaking wow. It's going to be a great coaster. An absolute great coaster. Again, this is another picture by Five Fires. It looks like the fire road here the Hillside Project, the Mystery Hillside Project, or as Theme Park Wizard has mentioned many times in his videos and live streams that you can catch every Monday at 7 p.m. This Hillside Project, what he calls it, is a utility event space. Personally, for me, I'm going to just come out and say it. Personally, for me, this is going to be where the studio tour relocates, because it's already been talked about numerous of times. And I'm going to just pull this up for a minute so you guys can see where I'm looking at here. So obviously Google Maps doesn't like to update in real time. So this is an old picture, but this whole hillside is that dirt that you saw in the previous picture or on the previous tab. So what I'm trying to point out is right here, this is where the focus is going to be coming. Soundstage 14, the studio post, which I've heard has been relocated to the new creative campus they built alongside Soundstage 12. They just completed it last year. And the studio post, they don't really use that building much anymore from what I understand. I could be totally wrong about that. But so Soundstage 14, this building here, this building, which is kind of like an oval roof, that's supposed to be relocated next to Earthquake, which is on the studio tour. And the Earthquake, you go through that after driving through Little Europe, where a bunch of movies have filmed and TV shows. You go through Earthquake, but when you're exiting Earthquake, there used to be to the left of the tram, so the driver's side of the tram, there used to be part of that Western set that's been there for, God, forever. They just recently, right before March 10th, which was the last day of Fast and Furious Supercharged on the studio tour, they ripped down and tore down that section of the Western sets. Literally right next to, oh my God, Earthquake. So a lot of people have said, it's not confirmed by Universal. I want to make that entirely clear. Whatever I talk about, expansions, movement, nothing has been, nothing has been confirmed by Universal. So take it with a grain of salt, please. I beg you. But this is a wood mill. The wood mill is not for theme park use. It's for the studios. It's for, productions and movies, TV shows, commercials, promos, stuff like that. So this wood mill that's here, this building that's mainly used for the studio, would be torn out and relocated next to Earthquake. The other areas that are being looked at to be torn out is this base camp kitchen, supposedly. Again, that's also for the studio. It's like a little food area. They have a little parking lot for like trailers and makeup and stuff like that, but mainly a lot of them park right in front of Soundstage 14, right here next to James Stewart Avenue. But these sound stages particularly are the ones that are going to be the main focus. You got 16 through 24. And why are these sound stages important? Well, they just got done about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, finishing 4 massive sound stages. So there are 4 massive soundstage buildings that each host 2 sound stages per building. Well, the funny thing is, just recently there was, a rumor. There was some news. I haven't really heard anything since then, but one individual, one content creator, shout out to Theme Park Obsession. He actually just did a video on expansion for Universal Hollywood, and he was talking about it, that the Parks Lake, which is literally, you have to, on the studio tour, it passes right by it to go to the little Europe sets. It also is adjacent to some of those massive soundstage buildings, and one of them hosts The Voice. Well, there's a lake right there where they film many movies, TV shows, commercials, but one movie in particular that has to deal with Universal monsters is Creature from the Black Lagoon. They filmed that in that lake. And that lake, and I'll show you on the map here so you guys can see it. Where are you at? Here it is. Okay, so Park Lake right here. The Voice shoots right here on the left side of this massive soundstage building. So the talk is that Park Lake would be completely filled in, drained, filled in, and 2 more of these massive sound stages get put in this spot. So with that, because like I said, these massive sound stages, you can see from an aerial view how big they are. They host 2 sound stages per building. And if you have 2 more in this Park Lake area, you could fit 4 more sound stages. Why is that important? Well, look at this. Like I was talking about, you got 4 right here, but then you got 2 right here, and then I think this is 2 right here, because this is offices or something. But all this is going away right here. That's the growing talk. All that is going away. So my question to you guys, because we all know it, we've all talked about it, we've all discussed it. 2028 is going to be a massive year for not only the United States, but for Southern California, because it's supposed to be hosting the 2028 Olympics. And before that, 2 years, so next year, Southern California is supposed to be hosting the FIFA World Cup. Why is that important? Well, again, I refer you guys to the title of this live stream. The question becomes, with Fast and Furious Supercharged, which is part of the studio tour attraction, which is in the Falls Lake area, which the Falls Lake area is for filming, but they've been filming movies and TV shows for years and years and years. They've filmed Sully in there. They filmed, I think, They filmed Sully. They filmed Castaway. They filmed a whole bunch of movies on this area where you can see the blue screen. Supercharged, which the studio tour drives through, is right here. This big, long stretch building right here. Right next to it, just before you hit Supercharged, is Jupiter's Claim, based off the movie Nope. And why is this important? Well, with Fast and Furious Supercharged now closed, and has been closed, and I mean not just closed temporarily, I mean permanently closed since March the 10th, now there's talks about, and again, it's all speculation, only talked about online, was that this whole area here, which is humongous, this whole area right here, is possibly for theme park expansion. A lot of people have talked about it. What in the heck can go in this massive footprint? I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but for me, it makes the most relevant sense. I think, personally, a Harry Potter expansion is coming to this area. Hear me out on that. The reason why, that mysterious hillside project behind the Mummy that I said earlier on in the live stream, where I have a funny suspicion that it's going to be used for the studio tour relocation project, where the studio tour is going to move back down to that area. Because if you look at that hillside, they're flattening it out. From that road that goes on the backside of the Mummy, they're supposed to be carving into that hillside about 100 feet up. And then from there, they're going to take all that dirt, remove it, massive retaining wall, then it's going to be flat. So it makes me wonder if the studio tour is going to be here. And if they do that and there's confirmation, there's one or two possibilities that's going to happen here. This is going to be theme park space no matter what. I totally believe that. Again, not confirmed by Universal, but I have a very strong feeling it is. Like I said, my personal opinion, it's going to be Harry Potter. The reason why I say Harry Potter, because again, the studio tour, if you look at it, the studio tour is here right now, right? Right where these blue tents are, the blue roofing, whatever you want to call it. Then you got the tram garage, which both of these would relocate to that lower hillside behind the Mummy. Then you got the Simpsons ride and land right here. Why is this important? Well, I'm going to tell you why it's important. Because if you look at it, this whole building right here, which is Forbidden Journey for Harry Potter inside the castle. Okay, this green area, this whole big green area right here is extended queue for this attraction. Never gets used. Never, ever, ever. I can't even remember the last time this extended area gets used. Why is that relevant? Why is that important? Well, it's important and it's relevant because if you look at it, they could easily, with some modifications, of course, easily build the King's Cross station right here. Hogwarts Express can go right here. Guests load on, it drives down, probably right down through this area here, keeps going down Kirk Douglas Drive, and it keeps going down Kirk Douglas Drive, down Steven Spielberg Avenue, till it hits John Williams, goes down John Williams, and pulls in right here. That's what I think is going to happen. Why is that crazy? It's not crazy. Because if you think about it, going around the land would add that extra minute or two to go to this new expansion, and it would feel like it's a lot longer. Because if you think about it, just hear me out. If you if you load here, right, for the Hogwarts Express, you go down to Kurt Douglas Drive, and you keep going, and you go to Falls Lake Drive right here, and you just pull in right here. That's too short. That's too short. Way too short. Now, instead of pulling in this way, if you go down Kurt Douglas Drive, the Steven Spielberg area, or, hear me out, or they go to Kurt Douglas Drive and they pull in towards this area right here, not taking out the Psycho House, because I wouldn't want to see that go, but taking the plane crash area out, Kurt Douglas Drive, and you go through this way and loop in, you could do that. Or you just, like I said, you go down Kurt Douglas Drive, go down Steven Spielberg Drive to John Williams Drive to Falls Lake, and you pull in right here, right where we used to enter Fast and Furious Supercharged. That's where you disembark the Hogwarts Express. You go into the new land, whether it's Diagon Alley, whether it's the new land based off Fantastic Beasts. And if they do that, they can have a super land. And what I mean by a super land is they can have Escape from Gringotts, they can have Ministry of Magic, they can have the wand experiences, they can have Hagrid's motorbike event, they can have all of it. I mean all of it. That plot of land is big enough for all that. And I think it's more than possible. Now, going back to this, Simpsons, there has been some chatter, again, not confirmed by Universal. I want to just make that extremely clear, that the Simpsons land, we could see a closing date time frame in 2026. Again, pure speculation. But if they do that, it makes me wonder, what are they going to do with this land? Are they going to extend Fast and Furious? Because you got the roller coaster right here based off the movie franchise. Or are they going to turn this whole land, this whole area, in a dark universe? A West Coast version of dark universe. I said it's possible. I don't know if they would. Maybe. Because you butt up right next to Harry Potter, right next to Fast and Furious. I don't know how good that would possibly be. You do have all this land back here and down here to possibly, expand Dark Universe and make it big enough. My biggest problem is, do you want to cram Dark Universe in this location where you got Fast and Furious butt up against it, and you got Harry Potter butt up against it? I don't know if that would be such a good idea, because I think the Universal Monsters, just like Epic Universe is doing with Dark Universe, which it looks absolutely incredible, I just don't feel like the Universal Monsters, I don't think that's a good area for that land if it comes to Universal Hollywood in some way. I think personally a Dark Universe should go in this area right here. These massive 4 buildings, I kind of feel should be a Dark Universe. That's what I think. It should go in this area here. Transformers and Soundstage 15, supposedly there was a new talk about it. I don't know. I don't think it's true, but who knows? Again, speculation. That's why I do these live streams that talks pure speculation. But Transformers would be going away. Soundstage 15 would be going away. And why is that important? A Super Nintendo World expansion. They could put Donkey Kong here. They could put another Nintendo land here. I don't think that would be a smart idea, because if you think about it, okay, early on, and I've said it time and time again, I'm not going to, beat a dead horse, as I call it, but Soundstage 7 through 12. So this long stretch all the way down here. That was talked about and mapped out at one point for a Donkey Kong expansion early in the development of Super Nintendo World on the lower lot, as you guys can see. And they said they mapped it out. They mapped out what Osaka, Japan was building. They mapped out what Epic Universe is getting in their Donkey Kong land. And they measured ours because we were supposed to get it. Now, if we do get it, probably not. Who knows? But they mapped it out, and ours was going to be the superior one because the Donkey Kong land was going to take over Soundstage 7 through 12 to fit that. And it was going to be the biggest version of Donkey Kong. And I said, well, that's perfectly fine with me because if you have a bigger version of the land, there's multiple possibilities you could do. You can have a bigger coaster. You can have a indoor dark ride that's kind of like Jurassic World Adventure in Beijing, in Universal Beijing. You can have just a regular, coaster, the same size as the other two versions. There's many possibilities. You can have exclusive meet and greets. You can have exclusive mini games that are only for Hollywood, or you can have like a Toadstool type themed Donkey Kong restaurant, which I think would be absolutely freaking awesome. I have to tell you, that would be amazing. The reason why, if a Donkey Kong or any type of Nintendo expansion would happen, I don't think this location here would be a good spot, because now what do you put in Soundstage 7 through 12? The reason why I say that, these are older sound stages. On top of them being older sound stages, they're not as state of the art as the newer sound stages. The newer sound stages are built for the modern age of filming. Don't get me wrong, Soundstage 7 through 11 still gets used for filming. They film Bel Air, they film Hacks, they film all sorts of stuff in there. But I kind of feel that's coming to a close. Not the shows themselves, but the buildings they are filmed in, which are these right here. Soundstage 12, I can't even remember our last time a movie was filmed in there. Don't get me wrong, plenty of movies have filmed in there over the decades of Universal Pictures. But here's the problem. If you put the Nintendo expansion here, what in God's name do you put here? Because it wouldn't make sense to have a different non-Nintendo land expansion behind Super Nintendo World and then have a Nintendo expansion here. It would make zero sense. Yeah. So Albert, I thank you for joining tonight's live stream. I really, really do appreciate it. And I did watch his video. I did watch how they were talking about a people mover. The problem with the people mover is how can I put it? Because Universal is built on a hillside. So let's say the escalators, even though they're not escalators, they're moving past, just like Universal Orlando has. The problem I see with that is if they break down, it's the same thing as walking. So that's why I said, why not make another attraction out of it? And what I mean by that, and Albert, I'm going to go back to it. And I did watch his video, and I totally am open to that idea. I just kind of feel, looking at this, if you look at the studio tour here, and let's say the Hogwarts Express is right here, King's Cross Station is in this green extended queue area that never gets used for Forbidden Journey. So let's say the Hogwarts Express is right here. I was saying, Albert, it could go down Kirk Douglas Drive and keep going down Kirk Douglas Drive And instead of going down this way towards the Fast and Furious Supercharged exit, or where we used to exit Supercharged on the tram, it could still keep going down Kirk Douglas Drive, down the Steven Spielberg Drive, and keep going down way down here to John Williams Drive, and pull in right where we would used to enter Fast and Furious Supercharged for the finale for the studio tour. The Hogwarts Express would stop right here, let guests out, you walk right into the land, and then when you're done, you get back on the Hogwarts Express and it goes right back up to this area here. That's what I'm thinking. Call me crazy. I'm just kind of, I think that would be a better way, because now you add another attraction. Yes, it's not as long as its counterpart in Orlando. I just think it would be a fun kind of, relaxing experience, because if you think about it, and I'm going to be honest with you, when it's during the summertime or it's raining outside, no one wants to walk in the rain. No one wants to be in the hot sun that we've gotten horrendous summers for the last multiple of years, where it's been like 100 and over 100. And I have to tell you, it's pretty brutal walking in triple digit weather, and it's pretty brutal walking in rain and being soaking wet. That's why I feel like the Hogwarts Express would fit perfectly good doing this route. I feel that would be a better option than a people mover. I get what he was saying. I respect his opinion. I just think a Hogwarts Express would be a little bit better. But that's just my opinion on it. But going back to this real quick, if they decide to tear down Soundstage 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that'd be a lot of ripping down. I don't think it's possible, but I don't think it could be ready in time. Maybe, but when we're talking about this, like I said, I'm referencing what I'm talking about to the title of this live stream tonight. And when we talk about Universal Studios Hollywood, we talk about Disneyland and the future race to 2028. And like I said, 2028 is when the Summer Olympics are coming back to Los Angeles, and NBC Universal is going to be exclusive on having the media rights to that, and a lot of Universal personnel, a lot of Olympic committee, they're all going to be in the Los Angeles area and very close to Universal Hollywood. And I said, well, looking at the Disneyland Resort, looking at Universal Studios Hollywood, it's very interesting. They're rapidly changing City Walk, and we're seeing it. They're adding 3 new security hubs, which actually I do have. Let me see. I do have pictures on that. I was just, like I said, I was just there Thursday. And this is one of 3 security hubs being put in to not only enclose City Walk and Universal, make it a security bubble, but also allowing for when the 2 hotels coming to the resort, one in the Woody Woodpecker parking lot, which is literally adjacent to this security hub that they're building. The other one's supposed to be where the old iFly location, which is now completely gone. There's no remnants of it anymore. They literally just filled the hole that they had to dig for the basement of that experience. I call it a skydiving experience. They just filled in the ground, and they have pavers ready to lay down the foundation. And you can see it here for this as well. It makes me wonder, why would Universal Okay, why would Universal be building 3 security hubs? Why would they be building 2 on-site hotels, which are 500 rooms each? Why would the Hilton that you can see in the background over there, that glass building, building a second tower, which is, I think, going to be also 500 rooms, if they all knew something we don't, which we all pretty much at this point have a good idea what's going on? The theme park's going to expand. And how does Universal Hollywood expand? Well, great question. Old sound stages that they've already built, modern technology, advanced versions of new sound stages for production, but the old ones are mainly in the lower lot, surrounding Jurassic World, surrounding Transformers, surrounding Super Nintendo World, surrounding the Mummy. Those are all slated to be torn out and used as theme park space. So why would Universal Hollywood, why would Mark Woodbury, the theme park chairman of Universal Destination and Experiences, be saying, hey, and this was years ago or a year or two ago, and he said it again in the New York Times report that we all saw it. He referenced it again, where Hollywood is going to get a multi-billion-dollar expansion. And when I hear that, I'm not just talking about the 2 hotels. I'm not talking about all the new restaurants and shops coming to City Walk. I'm not talking about these security hubs. I'm talking about theme park expansion and what is popular in Universal property right now. Well, Harry Potter's still relevant. Super Nintendo World is very relevant, and Mario. Nintendo in general is popular in the Universal parks, especially in Universal Japan. You also got Jurassic World. Jurassic Park is still pretty relevant. And there's a bunch of IPs they could choose from, even Wicked, because Mark Woodbury also said in that New York Times article that basically that he wants to see Wicked be implemented into the theme parks. Could that mean expansion? Possibly. For Hollywood, I don't know, because Hollywood has to pick and choose their battles. They have to pick their battles. They can't just build something. It's just what it is. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen. I'm not too sure. So it's a waiting game, quite frankly. And I want to go to Albert's comment. You posted. You said, would those sound stages be removed one at a time or all at once? Well, great question. It honestly depends, because they have to, anytime they demo something, they always have to get a permit. So if they could get permits for all these buildings, then it's more than possible they could do it all at once. Will they? Maybe. I don't know if they will or not. It's a great possibility, though. If they plan on using that whole footprint for theme park expansion, I can't see why they would sit there and tear one at a time. If they're under the gun, they want to build a new land, whatever it might be, for 2028, I can't see why they would take one at a time. If they could do multiple buildings at once or do all of them at once, that's where I see it. That's how I see it, Albert. I don't see it. I don't see them picking and choosing and doing one at a time. I just don't see that. I don't. I do want to talk about this just for a second. FanFest nights. If you haven't booked your tickets, definitely book your tickets. A good friend of the channel, Theme Park Wizard, definitely go check out his YouTube channel. He is now a travel advisor, and um, he does offer to go through him to buy tickets for not only this event, but if you want to do vacation packages, um, going to Orlando or vice versa. If you're on the East Coast wanting to come to the West Coast, Theme Park Wizard can help you out. Definitely go check out his channel. I think he even has his email that he uses for the travel advisory. You can always DM him on Instagram about this. But FanFest nights, I plan on going with Tommy Toon World, and just some of the drinks that we're looking at. It looks absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait for FanFest nights. It's going to be just absolutely incredible. They have they're going to have multiple IPs there. They're going to have a Yoshi experience. They're going to have Star Trek. They're going to have Back to the Future. They're going to have and don't get mad at me if I botch this, but they have Jujutsu Kaisen, which is an anime based in Japan. They're having that IP as well. They're also having I think there was one other that Dungeons and Dragons. They're gonna have that as well. So definitely, if you haven't booked your tickets, definitely check out Theme Park Wizard. Great friend of the channel, and like I said, he has a travel advisory. He could get theme park tickets or set you up for your next vacation to any theme park or any resort you're planning on going. So definitely go check him out. But one thing I want to talk about, switching now to Disneyland. Let me go here. Okay. So right now, as we sit, okay. So let me go here. Okay. Again, Google Maps, they don't like to update their freaking their maps at all. You know what? Speak of the devil, let me try Google Earth real quick and see. Let me see if that is a better updated version. Let me see real quick. Okay. Let's. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys, because I never use this. So, okay. Oh, geez. Trying to get this to right-hand corner. That's what I did. Okay, this thing is being very weird. I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's see if it'll refresh. No, of course not. Yeah, it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to cooperate. Of course not. Why would it cooperate? You stupid thing. Okay, well, forget that for now. I'll try to play with it for next week's live stream. But basically, this is the old red car trolley garage, shed, whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyway, this is being ripped out. I don't think it's ripped out yet, but it is being ripped out. And this whole area back here is supposed to be for that Avengers e-ticket attraction. What is fascinating about this is they're building two attractions: Star Flight Labs, Infinity Defense. Infinity Defense is the e-ticket attraction that we've been teased about since 2019. It wasn't called that, obviously, and it's gone through multiple different versions of that e-ticket attraction, and we're finally seeing ground break. And what's fascinating to me is D23 was in September of last year, okay, months ago. I would say about 5 months ago, 6 months ago, and we're just now seeing dirt behind here. Meanwhile, you got Universal Studios Hollywood. Matter of fact, you got them building a massive roller coaster. They're building 3 new security hubs. They're building 2 on-site hotels and possibly another attraction, if not another land, before 2028. And what cracks me up about Disneyland, and I've said it many times on this live stream, I've said it on other YouTubers' live streams that I've been a part of, Disneyland, the Walt Disney Company in general loves going through red tape, especially in Southern California, because there's more regulations than, Orlando and, internationally. And it cracks me up because when we all saw great friends of the channel, Orange Grove 55, Disney George the Italiano, he also has a new channel called Citrico Sensual, and I'm going to call it an olive branch from Orange Grove 55. It's still part of Orange Grove 55, but he went on his own. But when I've been on Orange Grove 55 with Orange Grove 55 and George, the Italiano, and I've said, why does Disney love going through red tape? They can't figure it out either. Universal's all like, what red tape? The hell with red tape. We're going full bore. And it's crazy because a lot of content creators that cover Universal have already said by the end of this month, beginning of next month, the circuit for the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift project should be completed. That means they might need another month or two to put the remaining sound walls up, put the 2 Scream Shield sections up, and that's it. They could start ride testing on this coaster. And it took half the time to build it than Tron did. Maybe even a quarter of the time. And I don't understand why Disney loves going through, red tape. I don't understand it. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. But I kind of feel with the Disneyland Resort, by the time 2028 happens, the only guaranteed attractions at this point, I'm going to be really honest with you, the only 2 guaranteed attractions that are going to be built, constructed, done, and open, that is guaranteed fact, is going to be Infinity Defense, Stark Flight Labs. That's it. I know they want to build a Coco Dark ride somewhere that's based off the Shanghai Disneyland Pirates attraction. Problem is, where the hell you put that? I don't know. I don't even think they know where it's going. On top of that, what do they have to rip out to put that there? Personally, for me, I've said it on Orange Grove 55's channel many times. He said it with him and George that the Hollywood backlot, which is adjacent, because you got the oh my God, Guardians of the Galaxy building right here, and right across the way in this area right here, this whole area, you got the Hollywood backlot, which is basically, I'm going to consider it abandoned. You got a stage show that never really does anything. You got a former building that used to have almost like a open food court type area inside this building. You have this massive building right here that was the Avengers Superstore building, and before that it was how you become a millionaire show. Then this building over here, I forgot. I think this is Philhar Magic. I think I could be wrong on that. Actually, no. I'm sorry. The how you want to become a millionaire is filmed. Used to back in the day was filmed right here. This is for Monsters Inc. Then down here is Philhart's Magic show. So this area is completely dead. in my personal opinion. You got one attraction and a bunch of empty buildings for storage and God knows what else. And I've said it many times. Why can they not turn this into a Coco themed land? You can make it work. You could possibly bring back the red car trolley, leave Hollywood Boulevard alone, and kind of tie into the land culture that is Southern California and the West Coast, basically. Why can you not build a land? Why only build one attraction? Why? Why not cater to the land community that not only lives around the Disneyland Resort, but lives in Southern California? It would be a great way to pay homage to all of them. I don't get why Disney won't do it. Meanwhile, there were talks, again, not confirmed, but they're looking at it. They want to cram Avatar in the Hollywood backlot and the bus load area. And if you look at it from, a high, aerial view like we're looking, it looks like, oh, okay, there's space. I don't think there is. And how in the hell are you going to hide this monorail track? Personally, for me, they could build tunnels over it, wherever the hell they want to try to do to, phase it out. I don't think it will. That thing is too massive. It's kind of like the old People Movers tracks in Tomorrowland. It goes right through the land. So trying to hide that, I don't think would be right. Now, what I think is going to happen, and if we look at it, right, where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Right here. See these two areas right here? I think Avatar is going to go in this section right here. This is the Simba parking lot. It's going to go in this corner. It's going to have enough room to breathe, and they're going to build a full scale. And believe me when I say it, James Cameron will not let his IP look like crap. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. So I don't think that Avatar would go in this area. They would be kind of stupid to do that. Now, if they do it, I wouldn't be shocked. I would be disappointed because that means they would have to cut measures and, cheap out on things. And I don't like that. If I'm going to pay the money that the mouse is asking for a magic key and pay it every month, I damn well have the full-blown experience of that IP I want to see, and that's Avatar. If they're bringing a land, I don't want to go in this area because I know they're going to cheap something out, or they're going to do something that is not going to be feasible. I just know they're going to do something that's going to screw it all up. And sorry to say it, I know I probably will piss off a lot of people that are solo Disney fans, but I just don't think it would be a smart idea to build Avatar in this area. I think it needs to go in the Simba parking lot. That way it has enough room to build the full-scale version and make it completely immersive. Because going from Buena Vista Street to Hollywood Boulevard and the Avatar does not make sense to me. It makes zero sense. And then just jumping to Tomorrowland just for a second, I've said it time and time again. I said, why is Tomorrowland abandoned? Why will they not freaking do something with it? Because it's so bad now. It's so congested because you got the People Mover tracks literally going right down the middle of the land. There's nothing going on. You got more abandoned buildings than you do attractions. It's pretty sad, actually. And it was talked about just recently with the Fantastic Four movie coming out that Tomorrowland could finally get their renovation, but it would be rethemed the Fantastic Four. And I said, well, that almost doesn't make sense. Why would you put Fantastic Four in Tomorrowland when you got Avengers right here? That almost doesn't make sense. Now, I don't know if they're related In a way, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I'm not a nerd that, you know, pays close attention to that, but it would be kind of weird to have Avengers Campus with Avengers, which are superheroes, in DCA, and then now you have the now you have Fantastic Four and Tomorrowland and Disneyland. That almost doesn't make sense because Bob Iger a few years back went on social media, made a video, and basically said any new lands, experiences, attractions, shows, entertainment is going to have some IP element to it. We will not, going forward, make any attractions that are non-IP based. And I don't know if the next CEO, which could be, who knows at this point. I'm still up in the air who that might be. Will they revert back? Who knows? I don't know. I think one thing that should happen, the next CEO that takes over the Walt Disney Company, I think they need, if they want to win, I'll tell you something right now. If they want to win, announce where Avatar is going, start building it. On top of that, close down Tomorrowland, rebuild it from the ground up. I'm telling you, if the new CEO can accomplish that, he or she's going to make their trademark, which every CEO that has run the Walt Disney Company has done. So I don't see why they can't, but who knows? Who knows? Albert, you said Disney always sits on their laurels because they know their parks are always full. That's true. That is very true. The problem I have is, like I said, the title of this live stream. My personal belief, and I'm going to be really, really honest with you guys. My personal belief on this is that when it comes to a building war, now I'm going to say it. I'm going to say a building war. When it comes to a building war for 2028, I really honestly do feel that Universal has the upper hand. I can see it now. You know, they're finishing the security hubs. It's already been talked about as well. Once they finish all 3 security hubs, they are planning on starting construction of the hotel, the one that's going to sit in the very front of where security sits now, alongside the Globe, which is going to move supposedly, according to Theme Park Wizard and others, 10 to 20 feet forward towards the gates, to accommodate the hotel. But the security hubs have to be done first. I just kind of feel with Universal completing Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, the 3 security hubs they're building, the 2 500-room hotels that are supposed to be coming to the resort. You got the Hilton building their tower for expansion. You got possibly another land, if not attraction, coming to Hollywood. On top of that, you got the studio tour, which will be relocated more than likely down to the lower lot behind the Mummy. By all that, by 2028, and all Disney has to show for Disneyland is 2 attractions, maybe 3, if they rush it and put their foot on the gas, which I don't see it. I'm being honest. I'm giving my honest opinion. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Universal's perfect. They've had their issues, just like Disneyland's had their issues. But when it comes to construction, Universal knows how and who to hire to build these lands, to build these attractions, to build these new experiences for theme park guests. It's more than proven. Look at Epic Universe. Epic Universe took less time to build than it did for Tron. And that's one attraction compared to a whole brand new theme park with lands, rides, shows, restaurants, gift shops, and you know, just a brand new theme park. And it took just the same amount of time as it took to build Tron. That's why I feel Universal puts their money where their mouth is. And in my personal view, and I'm not being biased, it's a proven fact. Universal wins my vote when it comes to construction. I think they're going to have more to offer brand new wise compared to the Disneyland Resort. Don't get me wrong, the Disneyland Resort is doing a lot of construction in downtown Disney with a new barbecue restaurant, a new steakhouse coming, and hopefully the final resting place for Earl Sandwich. They got Din Tai Fung that just opened not too long ago. Parkside Market that just opened not too long ago. They're revamping the old former ESPN Zone building to be a restaurant or two and a gift shop and some other things, I'm sure. You also got Tortilla Joe's being torn down for that steakhouse and barbecue restaurant. You got the recent Paseo opened. You got also what other things they build? They're supposed to be building Portos. So don't get me wrong, Disney has a lot of stuff coming. I just kind of feel Universal has the upper hand when it comes to construction. They know how to play the game with the red tape, as I call it. They know how to play to that, and they work it out, and they work it out fast. They don't drag their feet, they get it done. And that's why Universal Studios Hollywood wins my vote. The Disneyland Resort, I hope for the best. I don't feel that they are going to complete as much as they are promising. Like I said, just look at D23. D23, let's count. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months. 7 months since D23 happened out here in Anaheim. And what do they have to show for it? They're just moving dirt now on this project for the Avengers Infinity Defense, which is the e-ticket attraction we've all been teased about since 2019, has changed different designs multiple times. You got a new attraction that was not even supposed to be announced, but did, which is another Avengers attraction, which is probably going to be a D-ticket attraction. It's a Kuka on ride themed to Iron Man and Tony Stark, which is Stark Flight Labs. And they're just moving dirt now, which is crazy. 7 months after the fact. So in 7 months, I don't even think they had I don't even think they had a quarter of the supports up, or even any supports at all for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. 7 months ago, they had maybe the 3 platforms for the stations, or for the building itself, and look at how far they come. Someone posted on X today, I think it was Universal Coasters, said, and again, I'm not, just take it with a grain of salt. I'm sure he's taking it with a grain of salt. But if there's no other delays weather-wise, we could see a complete circuit done, all track installed for the coaster in 2 weeks. Now, they have to do other things before they ride test, like obviously they have to put the scream shields up. They have to put the rest of the retaining wall up. But after that, they could start ride testing. And that could be by FanFest nights, which is next month. Or maybe even in early May, they could start ride testing. So, and ride testing is going to take months, because they have to make sure that sound pollution isn't going to cause a problem, obviously, for the studios, the neighbors surrounding Universal. But all I'm saying is, when it comes to Universal construction compared to Disney, the Walt Disney construction, like whether it's on the East Coast, West Coast, all I'm saying is it Universal beats them almost 9 out of 10 times. I'm just going to be honest with you. And Disney, the Walt Disney Company, is not, how can I put it? It's not pleasing the guests in the way they think it is. They're pleasing guests, but they're not. Okay. We've all seen it. Prices go up every single year. That's just unavoidable for the average consumer that wants to go to Disneyland Resort or Walt Disney World. The problem I see is, how do you justify the price hikes when you got new projects in the pipeline but take years and possibly a decade to build, compared to their neighbor Universal in Los Angeles, which is surrounded by movie studios building all sorts of stuff? How do you justify that? How? Why? That's what I want to know. How do you justify that? And that's what drives me crazy. So, I guarantee you, with Universal, once Hollywood Drift opens, prices are going to go up for tickets. Prices are going to go up for the passes. But I'm okay with that, because Universal, Brian Roberts, the CEO and chairman of Universal and Comcast, is willing to put the money where his mouth is, and says, Hollywood tells Mark Woodbury, here's multi-billions of dollars, invest, expand, make the park better, make it better. And that's exactly what they're doing. The one thing I have to say with Hollywood, with Universal Hollywood, which I'm hoping and praying to God, please, if anybody from Universal Creative is watching this, or a friend that is a friend of someone that's, a Universal Creative, please, God, get rid of the stupid fingerprint scanners. Please, God, get rid of them. I hate them. They're annoying. They don't work half the time. They're crap, and they're old age. They're old age. And I'm tired of going to Universal, doing early entry, and always having an issue with the stupid fingerprint scanners. It's so freaking annoying. I don't understand why they want to stay in the dark ages, but I'm hoping with these new security hubs, I'm hoping with these hotels being put in, I'm hoping when they close off the whole front of the park to build that hotel, to tear out the old security, to move the Universal Globe 10 to 20 feet forward. I really hope they redo the infrastructure, because now the Disneyland Resort is getting with the times with the facial recognition. Obviously, their systems aren't fully operational yet, but they do have the technology on the ground at the gates, ready to go. I hope to God Universal Hollywood does that, because we desperately need that. We desperately need that. Robert, how you doing tonight? Thank you for joining tonight's live stream. I deeply appreciate it. Albert, you asked, Universal Hollywood is not going to be a local theme park anymore. Some people might have a problem with that. Possibly. But again, you can't... I'm trying to figure out the proper wording I could say to this. You can't be stingy because you're worried about pissing off people. You have to get with the times. You have to expand eventually. And if you have your competition expanding, if you have the opportunity to expand, why not? Why not? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Robert, you said Conductor Disneyland needs a 101 Dalmatians ride. Oh, I 100% agree with you on that. That would be absolutely fantastic. Now, let me ask you, Robert, since you brought that up, great idea. Great idea. Where would you put this 101 Dalmatians ride? Would you put it in Disneyland? Would you put it in DCA? And if what park, where would you put it in that park? Comment down below. I'm very curious since I have the map up. I'm curious where you would put it. But you know, like I said, folks, when it comes to construction, Universal beats them out of the water. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna state facts as I see it. For me personally, since Robert made that comment about 101 Dalmatians ride, I personally, ooh, man, I don't know if you guys would agree with me on this, but I'm gonna say it. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. What if you put the 101 Dalmatians ride right here, and in that theater that they have next to Toontown? Well, would you agree with that? Because look at it, it's a massive footprint, and that theater, that outdoor theater, is mainly closed a lot. It does open to guests for events, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like a space that doesn't get used all the time. It does, but it doesn't. So I think it should go here, but that's just my personal opinion. Robert, you said DCA, so let's figure out DCA. If we were going to put in DCA, okay, Robert, where would you put 101 Dalmatians attraction? Where would you put it? If you're going to put it anywhere, where would you put it? And I'll try to look on the map and see if you're somewhat on the right track here. Would you put it in the Goofy Sky School location? Would you put it... Let's see. Would you put it right here, which is not there, but would you take out this backstage area and put it back here that has kind of like the archway for it? Would you put it... I'm trying to humor me for a second. I'm trying to figure out where you could put it. Let's see. Okay, so you said in Toontown. So that's in Disneyland. So let me go back to Disneyland real quick. So you're saying in Toontown, huh? So here's Toontown right here. That's Toontown. So if you're going to put in Toontown, there's not much area to put it in, though. That's why I was saying, Robert, you could have it close to Toontown. I just think this footprint right here, where this theater is out, this outdoor theater that they use sometimes for events, special events, you know, for after dark events and stuff like that. I kind of feel like this is a big enough footprint where you could put that right here. You could put that right here, that 101 Dalmatians ride. This footprint is big enough for that. I totally feel that. Because Toontown is a little hard. Because where in the heck would you put it? Oh, man. Where would you put it? Because there's really no place to put it. That's the problem. And you're talking about an attraction that's going to need a big footprint. That's why I kind of feel it should go right here. I'm just being honest with you. Because this road right here, you can see it. This is kind of backstage area, so it can use this whole massive footprint right here for that. I think that more than likely would be a great spot for that attraction. I'm just going to be honest with you. But, you know, I would not be opposed to it. I would not be opposed to it. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I want to ask everyone in the chat, watching on X, watching on YouTube, if you haven't smashed that like button, definitely smash that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Bluesky at ThemeParkConductor. You can find me on X at ThemeConductor. You can also find me every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Conductor Thursday Livestream. And I will let everybody on the community boards, whether it's YouTube or my socials, if I decide to change my live streams from Thursday to Sunday, I will keep you guys all updated and let you guys know. I do want to ask you guys real quick, is there anything I didn't talk about between Universal Hollywood and the Disneyland Resort that you guys have any questions about whatsoever? I'm here to answer your questions because, like I said, when it comes to my live streams, you guys run the show. We talk about it, we speculate. That's the whole fun of this live stream, and every live stream I do every week. Albert, you said when the Universal expansion is done, we should be finally get the full HHN that Orlando gets with 10 houses and 5 scare zones. I 100% agree with you on that. And we could have 10 houses right now as it sits, before the hotels go in, before expansion happens. This year alone, we could have 10 houses. If they open the metro sets back up, which I know it's highly unlikely because of filming, because COVID really screwed up a lot of BS for a lot of filming. It also screwed up when they had the SAG strikes about 8 months ago to a year. That delayed a bunch of stuff. But I'm telling you what, if we had 10 houses, which is more than possible, because Soundstage 12, you have to think about it. Soundstage 12, which hosted, what was it? It was, oh my God. What the hell was the name of the Monsters house last year? God. Anyone know in the comments, post in the comments. I already forgot. But they had a Monsters house in Soundstage 12. Okay, Internal Bloodlines. Thank you. They had Internal Bloodlines last year in Soundstage 12. That soundstage is big enough to have 2 houses in that soundstage. So that's 2 right there. Then you got the one on T-Pad, which is behind Soundstage 15, which usually has a house. So you got T-Pad, Soundstage 15. So right there, that's already 4 houses. Okay. Then you got the Curious George parking lot. Okay, the H lot that we have to kind of trek down to get to and walk through Harry Potter to get to, right? You have 2 more houses. That's 6 houses already. That's 6 houses. That's not including the one that's usually in the Parisian Courtyard upstairs. So that's 7. Then you got the soundstage, or no, you got the space behind the Mummy Show building. That's 8. That's 8 houses right there. 8 houses. Then you can have 2 more on the metro sets. Now, when it comes to the scare zones, so where the flame towers are, that's a scare zone. Where Harry Potter is, if you bring back the Death Eaters and maybe have a Voldemort character and maybe a Bellatrix Lestrange character roaming around, that's a second scare zone. Where the crows were last year, the big Stiltwalker crows, that's 3 scare zones. You can have a scare zone in the metro sets, which we've had before. You can have another scare zone on the lower lot as well. That's 5 scare zones right there. And you can add even more scare zones if you wanted to. So I kind of feel if the metro sets were available for John Murdy and the HHN creative team to utilize, we would have 10 houses. We would have 5 scare zones. That's my personal thinking. Will they do it? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if they will or not. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But is there any other questions you guys have about the Disneyland Resort, Universal Hollywood, anything like that? I'll give you guys a minute or two. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm here to answer your questions. But I had a bunch of fun. I love talking theme parks. I love talking Universal. I love talking Disneyland. And the future is bright for the theme parks. I'm especially excited for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. I'm even more excited. Besides the coaster, I'm more excited for expansion. I'm excited. When we start seeing them build something on that hillside project that is an actual building, possibly a studio tour, I'm gonna get super excited. When I start seeing that the Fast and Furious Supercharged building, which a lot of people and Universal even said themselves, a new experience is coming to the studio tour. I don't think it would be a great idea to save that supercharged building. I think that needs to be leveled. That area, Jupiter's Claim area, and the Falls Lake area needs to be for theme park expansion. It needs to be for a land or two lands. I don't know. I think a Harry Potter land with the Hogwarts Express leaving from the current studio tour location would be best. I don't know if they would do it, but we'll wait and see. Robert, you said I think Warner Brothers should team up with Disney. Interesting. Team up with them for what? Team up with them for what? Albert, you said, do you think the Simpsons land starts getting removed next year? Albert, it's so funny you mentioned that. I think it's a possibility. I don't think they're going to wait to the last minute to, start stripping that land of the theming, because 2028 is the deadline for the contract. So I don't think they're going to wait that long. I think possibly next year. Again, it's just pure speculation, but I think possibly next year we are going to see some type of demo work happening in the Simpsons land. But again, don't quote me on that, because that's just speculation. Robert, you said, I love Warner Tiny Toons Animaniacs Bugs Bunny. Oh, well, here's my growing theory on it, Robert. I think what's going to wind up happening is Universal's going to buy them out. Okay. Warner Brothers has been on the fritz for quite some time now. They've been bought multiple times by different companies, and somehow it falls apart after a while. I think what Universal's going to do, they're going to buy them out. They're going to move a lot of their production to the Warner Brothers lot, and they're going to tear out more sound stages. And I mean older sound stages. I'm not talking new ones, older ones. And they're going to expand the theme park. That's what I think is going to happen for Universal Hollywood. Brian Roberts, Comcast, is going to try to buy out Warner Brothers. That's what I think is going to happen. And if we see that happen, not only can we see Warner Toons, Animaniacs, Bugs Bunny come to the Universal parks, but it would be interesting because Bugs Bunny and I think Daffy Duck, aren't they meet and greet characters at Six Flags? So that would be kind of interesting to me how they would work that out. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But again, any other questions you guys have? Any other ones? If not, I'm going to end tonight's live stream. I want to thank everybody for joining tonight's live stream. You guys have all been amazing, like usual. I am eternally grateful. and I cannot wait to be on next week's Conductor Thursday live stream, or possibly Sunday. Like I said, I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm going to look at the analytics on my channel to see how this live stream does, and I will let you guys know in the next couple days if I'm going to change it to Thursdays or keep it Thursdays or change it to Sundays. I will let you guys know. Again, my name is ThemeParkConductor. This is Conductor Sunday live stream, usually Conductor Thursday live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining. Again, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Bluesky at ThemeParkConductor. You can find me on X at ThemeConductor. You can find me every Thursday, currently, except for today, currently every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Thursday live stream, or possibly maybe in the future Conductor Sunday live stream. And definitely subscribe to the channel, because I have some really amazing content going to be coming out. I'm going to be covering FanFest nights. I'm going to be covering Disneyland 70th. I'm hoping to make it out for the Las Vegas Horror Unleashed opening weekend with Tommy Toon World, and possibly next year. Again, it's speculation. Me and Tommy Toon World might be planning a trip to Orlando, possibly, not guaranteed, but possibly, to go experience Epic Universe. I also have a buddy that works at Walt Disney World, and I haven't seen him in forever, so I'll be hanging out with him. It'll be my first time going to Orlando, and I'll definitely be checking out Walt Disney World. So I want to thank you guys for joining tonight's live stream, and I will see you guys all next week. Have a good night, everybody.